You are Locked On Red Sox POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Boston. On the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, it really did not matter how the Red Sox won a ball game on Friday night. They simply needed to win. And when they did, 3-1 over the Chicago White Sox, the worst team in baseball, maybe when it was all said and done in a few weeks, the worst team in the history of Major League Baseball. But Ceddanne Rafaela, the Sox, finding a way to a victory. 2-run home run for Ceddanne in the 7th inning. Sox pen able to finish off the rest of the way. Red Sox again, and a 5-game losing streak. Win the opener against Chicago, 3-1. Win tomorrow, win Sunday. You know what you have there? A series sweep and a win streak. Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Lennox, longtime play-by-play announcer. I broadcast games from Tokyo Dome in Japan, Dodger Stadium, Target Field, Minute Maid Park, Kauffman Stadium, Jacobs Field, Globe Life in Arlington, Texas, and LaLasher Park in Lowell, Massachusetts. We do welcome you into our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast. We are providing reaction every Red Sox game on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, as well as the Locked On Red Sox podcast feed, which is free and available wherever you get your podcasts. On our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast, we're going to be discussing Ceddanne's big blast in the 7th, Nick Pivetta's outing, and even his future. Is it in Boston with the Red Sox over the next couple of years? He's one of several free agents at the end of the season for the Sox. We're also going to discuss the return of Mr. Story. Trevor Story is actually going to be back in the Red Sox lineup back in April. It was a season-ending injury on the road trip to open up the season. Story is going to be back in there. He's going to play shortstop. Ceddanne Rafaela is going to move across the diamond to play second. We will get into that as well. Our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast brought to you by Prize Picks, prizepicks.com/lockedon. Use code, all lowercase, MLB, Locked On MLB, to win $50 instantly when you play $5. Again, go to prizepicks.com/lockedonmlb, all lowercase. We do want to hear from you, our everydayers and our first-timers. You have to be happy with this one. Not a lot of time left in the regular season, but you have to start somewhere. We were hoping that it was going to be on the last road trip in Detroit or New York. It did not happen. So join the conversation. Watching live on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, hit the comment button, join the Sox conversation. You can also hit me up on the X as well, at Lennox on Baseball, with any questions, comments, or concerns. Well, the Red Sox took the field Friday night after going 1-5 on a road trip. They're able to avoid the six-game losing streak with a victory in Game 1 against the White Sox, who are now 32-110 on the season. You just needed to win. And you need to win Saturday, and you need to win Sunday. But in order to sweep the series over the White Sox, you need to win Game 1 on Friday night. Mission accomplished. 21 games left in the regular season. Sox homestand off to a good start. We haven't been able to say that a lot during the course of the regular season. Hey, the Red Sox, once again, making a starting pitcher, and I'm not taking anything away from Davis Martin. He was solid. He really was for the White Sox in his outing. But Martin, 6 innings of one-run baseball, not a lot of hard contact, a lot of ground balls off Martin for the Red Sox hitters, and a lot of comebackers as well. But Ceddanne Rafaela, 1-1 ball game going to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Enmanuel Valdez worked the walk. Martin was out of the game. They went to the bullpen. Matt Foster out of the pen. Valdez saw 11 or 12 pitches during the at-bat, walked Rafaela, boom, wasted no time. Home run for Ceddanne Rafaela, and the bullpen thankfully takes care of the rest. But when it was 1-1, and the White Sox actually took the lead against Nick Pivetta in the second, getting their only run of the game, Sox tied it up in the 4th inning. Should have had more runs in that 4th inning. Really should have had more runs. Abreu hit by a pitch. Yoshida hit by a pitch. Casas RBI single. 1-1 ball game. Long line to center. And then Valdez hit into an inning-ending double play. Where have we heard that before? Well, Wednesday night against the Mets when they hit into 3 double plays in 3 straight innings. But the Sox getting the 2-run home run from Ceddanne Rafaela. He's part of our numbers of the night. That's coming up a little bit later on in segment number 3. But Rafaela continues for the Red Sox to come up in big situations. You avoid, with the victory Friday night, falling to a game below 500. You avoid extending your season-high losing streak to 6 in a row. Feel good about it. Now Trevor's Story comes back. Apparently, Liam Hendriks is not going to return, at least on this series against the White Sox. Maybe it's early next week against the Baltimore Orioles. But Trevor's Story is going to be back. We will get into that as well a little bit later on. Rich Hill was designated for assignment on Friday. So the 44-year-old back in the big leagues for what? A 20th consecutive season? Had a rough go of it behind Kenley Jansen on Wednesday. Could not find the strike zone. Jansen and Hill combining to walk five hitters and 3 with the bases loaded in that dreadful 4-run 8th inning for the Mets, and they won the game 8-3. But Rich Hill designated. We'll touch on that as well. But Rafaela, the big hit. And the Red Sox managed just 5 hits in the game. They still can't, for some reason, they're actually out hit 6-5 by the White Sox. But the White Sox, again, losing for the 110th time this season. And 1-1 ball game after 6.5, you're thinking, I was like, there's got to be something right here in this inning. Because they've got a couple of guys in the lineup, Robert Jr., Benintendi, who the Red Sox, of course, know, Vaughn, Sheets. They've got a couple of guys in that lineup, Lopez at the top, who can go yard on you. And you just didn't want to see in a 1-1 game in the 7th or 8th or 9th inning where the White Sox went in front. And all of a sudden they're thinking, hey, we're going to pick up a victory. And wouldn't you know it, I mentioned former Red Sox player Andrew Benintendi, who's now 30 years old. Thank you, Baseball Reference, for that one. But I give my first NESN reference of the night here in the first segment, and Lou Merloni in the booth with Dave O'Brien on Friday night. And I wish all 3 games this weekend were Dave and Lou, since we have Lou Merloni available. Love Will Middlebrooks, love Euclid, but I'm getting more and more into Lou Merloni on the broadcast. I thought he did a terrific job. I was in line with a lot of what he was saying, and I was really focused on what he was saying during the course of the game. But they went to Grady Sizemore at one point, the interim manager for the White Sox, played for the Red Sox. I mean, Grady Sizemore, and Lou Merloni mentioned it. He sort of mentioned, I saw Grady Sizemore in the minors years ago when he was in the Cleveland organization, the Indians at the time. And he played for the Kinston Indians in the Carolina League. And Lou basically said, Grady Sizemore, first he said, hey, Grady Sizemore's still a great-looking guy. I can agree with Lou on that one, absolutely. But Sizemore, before the injuries, and really before he got to the Red Sox, he was Jarren Duran in a lot of ways. When he said that, I'm like, wow, he nailed it. He was right there with that one. So Grady Sizemore taking over. I don't know if he gets the big league job after this season. Hey, it can't get any worse in 2025 for the White Sox, can it? I mean, come on. They're going to lose over 120 games. They're going to establish the new single-season record for most losses in the season, held by the 1962 Mets when they lost 120 in their first season in the National League. The White Sox are going to pass that number. They are. They've got, 20-plus games left? They're not going 500 the rest of the way or above 500 the rest of the way. And the Red Sox can help with that over the next 2 games. Pivetta, solid. 6 innings, 1 run. And the White Sox, as much as you want to beat up on them and kick sand in their face, now that they've lost 110 games on the season, they're still a professional ball club. They're still a big league ball club. There's pride in there somewhere. And Pivetta gave up the 1 run. That was it. That was it. Had a couple of innings where he left runners on base, but Nick Pivetta overall, solid outing. We call it a quality outing when you go 6 innings when you gave up 1 earned run. He did walk 3. I thought that number might come back and bite him a little bit. But overall, Pivetta, solid job. No decision. Gave up a couple of 2-out walks in the first inning. And he also had 2 strikeouts in the first inning, but he threw 28 pitches in that first inning. I thought, oh boy, here we go. Did give up the run. Sosa led off the second with the double, scored on a 2-out base hit off the bat of Jacob Amaya. And then that was it. Really didn't do a whole heck of a lot more against Pivetta. Pivetta gave up a 2-out single, struck out 3 in the 4th inning. Sheets had a walk in the 6th. He was erased on a double play. And he went 6 innings, gave the line. 1 earned run, 5 hits, 3 walks. Okay, you deal with it. 2 of those were in the first inning. He didn't continue to add on. He gave up 1 more walk the rest of the way over the next 5 innings. So you take it from Nick Pivetta. So right here, before we go to break, if you're with us on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, thought about this again, and I've thrown it out there before. But where is Nick Pivetta for you after the 2024 season? Free agent at the end of the year. So do you re-sign Nick Pivetta? I say yes. I say you need to be in the conversation with Nick Pivetta during the offseason. Make it clear, hey, we'll talk with your people, but we'd like you back. And there are a couple of reasons for it. He'll be 32 next February, and I may have weeks ago gone through this for Pivetta to make the case for him, but I'm even more adamant now. 32 next February. Previously, I've said, I think Nick Pivetta is a guy who's going to be better over the next couple of years. I think he ages well. I really do. $7.5 million this year. Even if you give him a little bit of a bump, the way pitching is now, if you say, Nick Pivetta, we'll give you a 3-year option, a 3-year deal with an option for a 4th year. You may be saying, Lennox, you're crazy. Hey, I've been called crazy before. Hey, last weekend I was called stupid by the guy in a pizza place just outside of New Haven, Connecticut. What are you going to do? But anyway, 3 years with an option for a 4th year. And have some kickers in there. You reach a certain number of innings, you number of appearances. But Pivetta is a guy for me, and he may have been. Remember last year, 2023, 38 games, 16 as a starter. He was outstanding out of the bullpen. So you know he can do both roles. And maybe you tell him, hey, we're lining you up to be the back end of the rotation, but really, we may have you as one of our top relievers. Not the closer, but one of our top guys in the pen going forward. And this is what we're going to pay you. So if you went 8.5, 9, 9.5 over 3 years and then went to maybe stuck at 9.5, $10 million, now somebody may very well go out there and throw even more money at him. There's a line that you say, okay, Nick, you got a deal elsewhere. Bye-bye. We wish you all the best. But if I'm Craig Breslow, I'd love to hear arguments against bringing Nick Pivetta back. But again, next year would be his age 32 year. He turns 32 in February before, right around spring training. I'd bring Pivetta back. I really would. Other guys, I don't know so much. Kenley, I'd bring back. I don't know on what kind of deal. I don't know that he'd be the closer for the next 2 years. He's closing in, but he's got a long way to go to get to 500 career saves. Tyler O'Neill, and this is the way I was framing it, is Nick Pivetta playing in his final games, final weeks as a member of the Boston Red Sox organization. He is free agent at the end of the year. Tyler O'Neill, I don't think comes back. I really don't. I don't think Tyler O'Neill comes back. But just thought I'd get into that. Yes, it's segment number 1. I already mentioned Lou Merloni. But there's something else that Lou said on Friday night in the Nesson booth with Dave O'Brien, and I'm going to hit that up next. Sox win 3-1. That 5-game losing streak, 5 was enough. It's over for the Sox. They'll try to make it 2 in a row against the White Sox on Saturday night at Fenway Park. Locked On Red Sox postcast, Locked On Sports Boston, your team every day. Sponsored by Ibotta. Ibotta is the free app that lets you earn cash back every time you shop. Earn on hundreds of items from groceries to beauty supplies, even toys. So you can make sure you're beating inflation no matter what you're purchasing. The average Ibotta user earns $256 a year. What's that going to cover for you in your household? Well, it could cover the cost of an entire shopping trip, that flight you've been eyeing, or that fancy dinner that you've been craving. If you're like me or looking at those big-time steakhouses and just saying, nope, not yet. Other apps give you points that really don't amount to much. With Ibotta, you earn cash back that you can withdraw to your bank account, PayPal, or gift card. Simply add offers in the app, upload your receipt, Viola, money is yours. You can save on over 2,400 brands and shop at over 1,000 retailers, including your favorite grocery stores, Lowe's, Macy's, Sephora, Best Buy, and more. Time to join the over 50 million users who use Ibotta to earn cash back every time they shop. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 off just for trying Ibotta by using the code LOCKEDONMLB when you register. Just go to the App Store or Google Play Store, download the free Ibotta app to start earning cash back and use the code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Ibotta in the Google Play or App Store and use code LOCKEDONMLB. So the Red Sox pick up the victory Friday night against the White Sox. Ceddanne Rafaela, the big home run. He'll be part of Numbers of the Night coming up in segment number 2. Hey, the Patriots open up the NFL regular season against the Bengals this weekend. Mike DeBate, host Locked On Patriots. Cam Stewart has you covered with the Locked On Patriots postcast following each and every Patriots game all season long. Locked On Patriots postcast. And that, of course, is part of the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. Locked On Patriots podcast available wherever you get your podcast. So the Sox, again, avoid a 6th straight loss, avoid dropping to a game below 500, now 71-70, and 21 games left in the regular season. So, again, I mentioned Lou Merloni already. Sox picking up the victory, and now 10-18 since August 7th. It's been a below 500 in pretty much every way you look at it. First win of September for the Red Sox with Friday night's win, 29th comeback win of the season. I know I'm getting into some of my numbers of the night here. I don't care. I'm just happy the fact that the Red Sox picked up the victory. But Lou Merloni, again, with Dave O'Brien on the NESN broadcast, they were talking a little bit about David Hamilton, who is in the dugout, and I was glad to see Trevor's story there as well. I figured that was going to be the case. He wasn't going to travel. He was with the team on Friday for the victory. Now that Trevor Story is back, maybe he takes more of a vocal role, leadership role with this team the rest of the way. It's got to click for the Red Sox. It clicked Friday night. 5-game losing streak, boom, gone. But Lou Merloni, they focused on David Hamilton in the dugout. Hamilton is out, fractured one of his fingers on a bunt attempt on the last homestand. And the possibility of him being active at some point and being used as a pinch runner late in games. And Lou sort of talked about Hamilton, and I love David Hamilton in the bottom of that lineup. Another speed guy, right? He was a speed guy there. And when they lost him, they lost something. Second base position, but a guy who can also get on base and be at second base with a stolen base, 32 on the season. Red Sox have not run a whole heck of a lot of late. But he referred to Hamilton, Lou Merloni referred to Hamilton on the NESN broadcast as another igniter. And kind of his closing statement to all that with David Hamilton, and it's still probably, I don't know that he's going to be able to swing a bat. But again, if you were able to activate him, I don't know what the move is with Story being activated. He's going to have to come. He's going to have to be added back on. Somebody might have to be designated for assignment on Saturday. That'll be tough. But again, this is part of the year where it's going to happen. But Lou Merloni said, Hamilton was one of those igniters. During this horrid stretch, it's only been Jarren Duran. And Lou Merloni, steadfast in saying, Duran can't be your only guy doing that. And he's 100% right. Rafaela, you want to be one of those guys. He ignited it on Friday night with a 2-run home run. Ceddanne Rafaela, the 2-run shot in the 7th, breaking a 1-1 tie. Great catch, by the way, by the guy in the seats. Lou Merloni, again, Lou Merloni. It's the Lou Merloni Locked On Red Sox postcast here. But Lou Merloni did mention that the guy who made the catch hadn't really looked at his girlfriend right away, but he finally did. And then they were all over their phones and people blowing up their phones and the NESN cameras getting in on the 2, and they deserve it. They got on a couple of guys down the third base side earlier in the game about not making catches on balls that were in the same vicinity. But the guy made a nice catch, tip of the cap. And now he's going to be all over social media, and his friends are going to love him. And he was all over his phone. Might have missed a couple of pitches there. That's okay. But Rafaela easily at bat of the night. But in front of him, mentioned it earlier, Enmanuel Valdez working the pitcher, the reliever, just into the game. 11 or 12 pitches, worked the walk. Instead of a solo home run, you had a little cushion right there. That was great to see. So Rafaela, number 15 on the season, 3-1 lead, 3-1 final score. Rafaela, and again, Lou Merloni mentioned this, he was 4 for 35 prior to that home run. Let's see him be an igniter here over the final 3+ weeks now of the regular season. He's got it in him. I would have loved to have seen here in the last handful of weeks. He would have had to have deserved it. But I would have liked to have seen Rafaela up in that number 2 spot. Duran lefty, Rafaela right-handed batter, then you go from there. On that number 2 spot in the lineup. Right now, that's where Rafael Devers is. He had a flare single in his first at-bat, soft contact, also had another hit in the ball game, exit velocity a little bit more. On the Rafaela home run, again, our at-bat of the night here on the Locked On Red Sox postcast. Do I have it? Yes, I do. Sometimes that was a laser. He absolutely hit that ball. So the guy who made that catch, I might have been bailing on that one. I'll admit it, because that ball got over the wall and into the seats in a hurry, in a blink of an eye. I might be able to bring it up here. Rafaela's home run went to Baseball Savant on MLB.com. Out at Fenway and 23 other ballparks. It would not have been out in Atlanta. Go figure, it would not have been out in Baltimore. It wouldn't have been out at Kauffman Stadium. It would not have been out at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Oakland Coliseum, or Angel Stadium in Anaheim. Let me see if I can get to the exit velocity. Pardon me. Almond stuck in there. 105 off the bat. The bat speed was 73.9. And again, out of 24 of the 30 big league ballparks, exit velocity was 105. That was pretty good off the bat from Ceddanne Rafaela. And the guy out above the green monster up in those seats, I really want to get to that vantage point at some point in my lifetime. We'll see if and when it ever happens. Are we scoreboard watching? We're not really scoreboard watching right now. Looking at the wild card standings today, that was tough. Seeing the Tigers and the Mariners in front of the Red Sox, that was tough to see. That really was. Where are we here? Royals and Twins. If the Royals win tonight and they're up 4-0 in the 8th inning, then you want the Royals to just beat the heck out of the Twins this weekend. Mariners 3-0 lead in St. Louis, present time. Tigers underway in Oakland against the A's. That game is scoreless in the 3rd inning. Scrolling. That's all we got. So we are scoreboard watching. So is Alex Cora. A couple of weeks ago, Red Sox were in charge of their own destiny. That's no longer the case. They need help. They need help in a big way. We know that, don't we? We do know that. Numbers of the night. Some thoughts on Mr. Story making his return to the Red Sox on Saturday, as the Red Sox will try to make it 2 wins in a row against the 110-loss Chicago White Sox. We'll get into that next. Locked On Red Sox postcast. Again, Locked On Sports Boston, your team every day, presented by Prize Picks. Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Over 5 million active members currently. Prize Picks, easiest and most exciting way to play your daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, Prize Picks, simple. You against the numbers. All you have to do is pick more or less 2 to 6 player stat projections. Watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends. Become part of Prize Picks community today. And with Prize Picks, you can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. Turn your $10 into $1,000. Sign up today. And you'll also instantly get a $50 bonus when you play $5. You don't even need to win in order to receive that $50 bonus. It is yours guaranteed. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code LOCKEDONMLB. Get the $50 instantly when you play $5. That is code LOCKEDONMLB on Prize Picks to get the $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive that $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. One Caleb Williams passing yard gets you 1 win on Prize Picks every week in September. That's right. Only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss this deal on Prize Picks. It is gone when September ends. Prize Picks, run your game. There's no way in the world I would get one, if I was a quarterback, for 2 snaps in the NFL, where I'd get 1 passing yard. I'd get killed on ball snaps. I still, to this day, think maybe in my 30s, and I'm no longer in my 30s, I could have maybe fouled a pitch off in a bat against a big league pitcher. That's how stupid I am. But getting 1 passing yard? I have all the I believe in Caleb Williams. I know he can do it. So that could be 4 W's for you with Prize Picks. All right, let's get into segment number 3 here. Numbers of the night in just a moment. Steve Lennox with you, Locked On Red Sox Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Boston. If you're with us live on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, hit the comment button and join us. I know it's Friday night. I know the Red Sox won as well. My football season, a lot of people's football season starts now. It's underway, right? We've got an NFL game on a Friday night. Don't care. My football season starts whenever I decide it starts. It's after the baseball season. So likely it's into November. Alex Cora telling the media Trevor Story going to be activated Saturday. He's going to see time at shortstop. With that, Ceddanne Rafaela is going to see more time at second base. Rich Hill, mentioned it earlier, also designated for assignment on Friday. Luis Guerrero called up from AAA Worcester. He's an interesting story. 24 years old. MLB Pipeline writing, he was born in the Dominican Republic. Family moved to Boston when he was young. 17th round draft pick out of the junior college ranks in Florida at Chipola Junior College back in 2021. He pitched in the Futures game in 2023. Fastball 96, 98. He can hit 100. He can miss bats. But according to the scouting report from MLBpipeline.com, I don't think I've ever read this before. A fastball at 96, 98, not a lot of life. But Guerrero's up with the big league club and deserved. Solid numbers with AAA Worcester this year. Again, 24 years old. Rich Hill, again, designated for assignment. Does Rich Hill have any interest? I know he just got done with Cooperstown with one of his sons during the summer months. But Rich Hill could instantly go to an organization as a pitching coach at some level. Maybe a couple of years in the minors, and then he goes from there. But he's familiar with Andrew Bailey. He's familiar with Craig Breslow. Does he end up staying with the Red Sox organization for the next decade? Maybe it starts 2025. Maybe it starts in a few years. But if Rich Hill wanted to be a pitching coach, sort of, maybe in the minor leagues or, the assistant, I mean, he's not a bullpen coach. Sometimes bullpen coaches go to assistant pitching coach. Now you have so many coaches on the rosters, on the staff for a big league manager. But Rich Hill, I mean, really, whatever job Rich Hill wants in baseball when he officially retires, I don't think he's going to officially retire just yet, but whatever job Rich Hill wants in baseball, post-playing career, it's his. Numbers of the night. I think I have a couple of good ones here. See if I can find them. Numbers of the night. The Sox are now, Ceddanne Rafaela, 15 home runs. He's got 1 2-home run game. That was earlier in the year at Fenway against the Tigers. But the Sox are now 14-0 when Rafaela hits a home run. How about the number 7? The Red Sox 7th win, now 7-16 in series openers at Fenway this season. Can we celebrate and acknowledge the Red Sox not only snapped a 5-game losing streak on Friday night, they won at Fenway. Good. Still didn't manage 10 base hits. It's been a long time since that has happened. And I want to bring this one up. Wilyer Abreu has been a while since he's hit a home run. Now 17 games without a home run. Homered at Fenway on August 14th against the Rangers and homered against the Orioles on August 15th. No home runs since then. Red Sox with Ceddanne Rafaela's game-winning home run in the 7th inning Friday night had gone 4 games. Final game against the Tigers last Sunday. All 3 games in the series against the Mets where they never led at any point without a home run. So, back in the home run column. I'm going to give you the number 3 here. I'm going to give you the number 3. Because we count everything in baseball, right? We know that. Davis Martin hit 3 batters, including Masa Yoshida, on 2 occasions. I'm not saying any of them were within 10. But it's early in the series. There's 2 games left. Now, do you want to get involved in nonsense? No, you don't. But you've hit 3 of our guys. You've actually hit 2 of our guys 3 times because Yoshida, Lou Merloni again, I'm going to wrap with Lou. He got hit. He didn't get hit in the wallet. on the backside. He got hit in a place you just don't want to get hit. And I'm not talking about below the belt. I'm talking about just above, above the wallet. Right on that bone. That's going to hurt tomorrow. Lou mentioned it a few times. It's going to hurt tomorrow. Yes, it is. What do we have on tap? Well, Red Sox are going to go for 2 wins in a row on Saturday. First pitch, I believe, 7:15 on Fox, so we do not get Dave O'Brien and Lou Merloni. I believe Don Orsillo is going to actually be back. And I think I saw that earlier in the day. So Don Orsillo, former NESN broadcaster for the Red Sox, is going to be on the game. Looking forward to that one, actually. Cooper Criswell, Garrett Crochet. I'm looking forward to seeing Garrett Crochet pitch. I think I heard Dave O'Brien allude to Garrett Crochet is now on a pitch count. So does he go 5? I don't know what the number is. But the quicker you can get into that bullpen, the better. We know that. Cooper Criswell, last time out, we know. Criswell, last time out with 4 perfect innings, retired all 12 batters that he faced, and then he was removed from the game. That was last Sunday in Detroit. Bayo and Flexen on Sunday, and Flexen hasn't won in a really long time. I think he's gone 20 starts without a win, 20 straight starts with a loss, or 20 starts with a loss without a win. We'll be on within minutes of the last out with our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast Saturday night. Looking forward to that one. 21 games left in the regular season. It had to start somewhere. Now you get Trevor Story back in the lineup on Saturday. Let's see the Red Sox put together 2 straight wins. Again, our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast Saturday night. We'll be on within minutes of the last out, and we will go all the way through the end of the regular season. We do thank you for making the Locked On Red Sox postcast your first listen every day, free and available wherever you get your podcasts, and also on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel as well. Locked On Sports Boston, your number one place to hang out immediately after every game. Locked On Sports, your team every day.